Hey gifted crafters, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this adorable beanie. Isn't it absolutely beautiful? I'm really excited. Let's get started. Okay, so in order to start on this project, I'm going to be using I Love This yarn. Now, this is 100% acrylic and it's a number 4, so a medium weight yarn. I absolutely love how the colors blend on this. The name of this color is called Cinnamon Cedar, so it's absolutely beautiful. Now, I'm also going to be using my low-powered drill for this, and this is just going to speed up the process. I really love doing this project. It's so much fun. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so to get started, we're going to go ahead and do the cast on process. Now, if you are a beginner and this is the first time you're actually doing a beanie, I would recommend that you check out my cast on, cast off video. I've got really up close personal shots where you can really see how to do the cast on properly. So go ahead and check that one out first. Now, if you're a seasoned one and you kind of already know it, we're going to go ahead and just do our little loop and we're going to start the cast on process. So go ahead and loop on your first black needle and we're going to go ahead and weave that in and out. So let's start that process. Okay, now remember we're doing it on just the one full turn. Then we're going to go ahead and open up our yarn feeder. Go ahead and close that up. And I'm going to just be holding the yarn with one hand, just kind of checking on the tension to make sure everything is okay. And we can go ahead and start cranking. Now, we are going to crank at about 120 rows. That'll be the full size for the beanie. And then I'm going to show you how to cast off. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, again, I'm going to be using my low power drill. So first couple of rows, I'm going to go ahead and hand crank it. And then I'm going to be using the drill with the attachment for the Addi machine. So you guys can see that and we can get this beanie done in no time. So let's get started. Now, don't forget to go ahead and set your counter to 0 after you've already cast it on. It's going to help you keep track of all of the rows. Okay, so I am at about 4 rows right now, and I just hit my 5th row. So I'm going to go ahead and start prepping for the drill. This is so much fun to do this. I'm going to pull out some extra yarn here just to have that on the side, ready to go. And let me go ahead and set this up. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this to not the actual handle of the machine, but on the base of the handle, which is attached to it here. And I'm going to just go ahead and still hold on to the yarn to keep that tension, but I'm going to go ahead and just monitor it really slow. Make sure that it is not a high power drill because that will not work with your machine. It does need to be a low powered drill. So here we go. Okay, again, just got to keep track of that yarn. I want to make sure that it is going to stay. Let's see here.
It's crafting time, craft my troubles away. Give me a world of color to brighten up my day. Crafting video song, searching what I can do, sipping on my drink, feeling inspired.
Now, every now and then you'll want to stop and just check the tension. Make sure everything is nice and tight and it's looking really good. I'm just loving how the colors are blending together. So let's just keep going.
It's crafting time, craft my troubles away. Give me a world of color to brighten up my day. Crafting video song, searching what I can do, sipping on my drink, feeling inspired.
Okay, I'm just doing another check here. Looks absolutely beautiful. I am loving these colors. Guys, this is a great opportunity. Just pop in a CD in there, listen to those crafting tunes. And while you're listening to your crafting tunes, just, have your yarn here with your little drill. And this is just a perfect little, nice little craft for you guys to do.
It's crafting time, craft my troubles away. Give me a world of color to brighten up my day. Crafting video song, searching what I can do. Sipping on my drink, feeling inspired and new. Crafting changed my life.
Okay, so we are at about 64 rows right now. Whoop. Just take this adapter back in here. And I just want to mention that as you continue to work through your project, your project's going to start getting longer and longer. So once it starts touching the table, you're going to want to roll it up on itself. Kind of make it like a little donut, if you will. So go ahead and make the little donut here. And roll it up. And then you just continue on. Now, the reason why you're rolling this up is because if you continue to let it stay on your table, it's going to start to bunch up, and then it's going to kind of distort your tension. So in order for you to keep a nice, even tension throughout the project, you want to keep it right off the table. Now, some people drill like a little hole on a table, or they put their machines in between two tables so the area is clear. That definitely will work. But if you don't have one of those types of tables or that's kind of set up, then you can go ahead and do the little donut roll over here, and that'll absolutely work and avoid any tension issues that may show up on your project. So let's get going. I'm going to go back on here again. Okay, I have a little strand here that's causing a little bit of an issue. So I'm just continuing to pull out the yarn, and that's okay. It's not too much of a big deal. It's just a little bit of an annoyance, I think. But that's okay. We'll just keep going. Okay. I think we're almost there. We are at about 79 rows. Definitely will make it here. So let's just keep going.
I express myself, everything is feeling just right. It changed my life.
Okay, let's roll it up just a little bit more.
Crafting changed my life, it mends my soul. In my happy space, I'm in control. It's crafting time, craft my troubles away. Give me a world of color to brighten up my day. Crafting video song, searching what I can do. Sipping on my drink, feeling inspired and new. Crafting changed my life.
Okay. Now I'm going to stop the drill because I only have about one more round left to do. Now this yarn has been a little tricky to work with. Got a little bit of yarn explosion a couple of times, but not too bad. I think we handled it. So let's just go ahead and do the very last round. And there we go. Alrighty. So now I'm just going to grab some snips. I'm going to cut my yarn, and we're going to start the cast off process. Now I'm going to be leaving myself quite a lot of yarn. So it's kind of a long tail that I'm going to leave just so that I can use this for the cast off process. So grab your snips and meet me back here. Okay, so now go ahead and snip that off. And we are ready to begin the cast off process. Now remember, I do have a video that shows the cast on and the cast off process, and it's really up close and personal. I positioned the camera so you can really understand how to do both cast on and cast off. So if you haven't checked out that video, go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up here. And I will close it again. Now you're going to want to grab your darning needle, since we're going to be threading the darning needle with this yarn right here. So I'm going to grab that over here. Now there's all kinds of different darning needles that you can use. I prefer to use, especially when I'm using it for my knitting machines, I prefer to use the darning needles that have a little bit of a bent tip. So this is the one that comes with the Addi machine. It's actually made out of plastic, but not too bad. And it does have this bent tip. As you can see here, put that up a little closer. You can see a little bit of that bent tip there. Okay. It just makes it a little bit easier for you to grab your stitches as you go along. So I'm going to go ahead and thread this on. And then once you have that threaded, what I'm going to do is just hold on to my darning needle and the yarn in the middle of the machine. I'm going to go ahead and crank it one time around just to release the stitches, and then we're going to start casting off. Okay, so now I'll go ahead and start picking up my stitches. I pick up my stitches from the inside of the machine to the outside of the machine. And you'll want to make sure that you pick up all of the strands because sometimes it will tend to split. And it seems like it's trying to split on me. There we go. We grabbed it. First one can be a little tough sometimes. And once you get the hang of this, then you can start picking up a couple of more stitches at a time, just to kind of make it go a little bit quicker. But you do what's comfortable for you. And then as you continue to pick up stitches, you're going to notice that the project will start releasing itself from the machine. And that's exactly what you want. There we go. Pick up all of your stitches. Take your time on this part. This part is extremely important because you really don't want your project to unravel on you. So just take your time. Make sure that you're picking up each and every stitch. And then just kind of pull it. We are about halfway there. I'm just loving how these colors have really turned out. They're just like screaming fall to me. Perfect for this time of year. But you can do any colored yarn. I mean, there's so many different beautiful yarns that are out there that you can get. And you can get just a beanie for every little occasion that you're having. Some people like to make some Christmas beanies. And, you know, the family takes like family pictures with them. It's so much fun. Now, if you're also interested in making one for Christmas, I do have a video on a Santa hat, and that's a lot of fun. It's done just a little bit differently, but it's really a lot of fun. Okay, once you picked up that last stitch, your project is already released from the machine. So we can put our machines over to the side, and then we're going to show you how to do the next part of the beanie. Okay, so now we have our project off of the machine. I'm going to go ahead and take that darning needle off. And now you have that little donut that you were rolling up so it didn't touch the table. We'll go ahead and unroll that. Stick this over to the side. And then you're going to want to just lay this out flat. and just give it a nice little stretch. You just want to set your stitches, and then you want to kind of do the same thing widthwise. So don't be afraid. It's not going to fall apart. Just go ahead and give it a nice little tug. Okay. Alrighty. So you have this big long tube and you're thinking, Nancy, how is this going to be a beanie? Well, definitely this is a beanie. So all you're going to need to do is, this is a double fold. So we're going to have our arms inside the beanie. I want you to reach in and I want you to grab one side of the beanie here. And you're going to notice you're going to have your little cast off tail. So go ahead and grab it with your hands. Grab this end here and just pull it through until you get to the other side. So you're going to have both ends on this side and you're going to have a fold on the other side. So like just kind of use the table to kind of flatten it out here. And now you have a shorter tube. But trust me, it's a beanie. So what we're going to do now, we're going to start with the inner tube here. And you're going to look for that long piece of yarn that you have. And you're going to go ahead and start pulling it. And as you pull it, you're going to notice that your yarn is going to start to gather together. So just kind of massage it with your hands and then just kind of continue to pull it together. And you'll see it's going to form kind of like a star almost. And then as you pull it, go ahead and pull it nice and tight. And you're going to see how it has closed itself together. So now you have one that is closed off and you still have that other one that's kind of rolling back looking like that donut. So now we're going to take the outer portion of the project and you're going to take that long tail and once again you're going to start pulling that one as well. So go ahead and pull it. Now it kind of rolled up on itself, so I'm going to just help it along and then just go ahead and pull. Now before you completely close this shut, you want to grab the other one and just kind of jiggle it up, standing up. So you're going to start to see how the beanie is forming here. And then you're going to have the inner one here. We've got that inner one. And then we've got the outer one. So now the outer one's going to be covering that. You don't want to lose the inner one. So you still want to hold on to it and just keep pulling until you've completely cinched it. And so now you see that it has completely closed itself. So what you're going to want to do is go ahead and tie a little knot. So we're going to go ahead and do that. There's one. I like to do that double knot. I may even just do a third knot. Why not, right? Let's do a triple knot there. Okay. There we go. So nice and secure. You can put your hand on the inside and you see how it kind of forms a little bit of a star on the top. So that's exactly what you want. And now you're thinking, Nancy, what are you going to do with this really long tail, right? So what you're going to do with this is we're going to go ahead and put the little pom-pom on. Now, if you're not interested in doing a pom-pom, then you can go ahead and pull this out and then just go ahead and snip it or work the yarn back inside to the stitches so that you can't see them. So then you would basically be completed and all you'd have to do is kind of fold your brim on the bottom to actually get your beanie going, right? But I don't know. I think this hat is adorable, but I do love a pom-pom on a hat. So I'm going to go ahead and put one in. So this is a pom-pom that I'm going to be using. Now you can get these pom-poms from Amazon. You know, there's so many different places that sell it. I'll put a link down below where you guys can get this one, but you can get them off of Amazon. And what I like about these is they have this really tiny little loop that's kind of buried on the inside of the pom-pom. And you can loop your project to that. Makes it a little bit easier for you to be able to kind of pull things together. So you can either do it with your hands. It's a little piece of elastic. So you can put it with your hands and you can grab the yarn and just kind of pull it through that way. That's one way of doing it, right? Or you can do it with the darning needle, whichever is easier for you. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to grab just one strand. And then the other strand, I'm going to leave on the outside of that so that I can go ahead and tie it together. That makes it a little easier. So I've got one strand on it and one strand off of it. And then I'm just going to go ahead and tie a little knot. And that just kind of helps to secure it in place. I don't want that pom-pom flying off on me. So you've got it nice and secure. And then I'll go ahead and do it again. And what you can do at this point is you can take that darning needle and you can go ahead and just kind of rethread it. And this is just like triple reinforcement. I really don't want this going anywhere. And you can go ahead and loop into, I'll try to pull it here. I can loop into that and then pull it out. And then I can continue to make this nice and tight so it really doesn't go anywhere. And then just go ahead, or you can work it into the brim itself and just grab a couple of those really top stitches and then just work that into the loop and just pull it. And then you can do a couple of more knots with your other yarn. Yep. There we go. Do one more. And that's it. I think this is not going anywhere. So what I can do to make these little yarn tails disappear, first I'm going to go ahead and cut some of it because it's a little bit too long. Oh, there we go. And then the other thing you can do is you can take that darning needle and you can just kind of work it inside of the beanie and then grab it from the inside. As soon as you feel it come through, go ahead and grab it and just pull it through. And that yarn's going to disappear. And then what you're going to do from the inside of the beanie, you can go ahead and snip that. There we go. And just kind of do the same thing with the other one. So go ahead and thread it. And then just work it inside the beanie. And grab it on the inside. Okay. Grab my darning needle back again. And that's it. Those pesky little yarn tails have disappeared. And you got yourself a nice little beanie. And I think you're all set for the fall. Isn't this absolutely beautiful? I really love this yarn. I love the colors on this thing. It's absolutely amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and make a little scarf to go with it. So check my video out on that if you're interested on seeing the scarf set for this, because this is absolutely beautiful and I just love it. So that's it, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It really does help the channel. And if you like all of the content that I give, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and definitely hit that notification button because you don't want to miss out on any of my upcoming videos. Thank you all for tuning in, and I hope to be crafting with you soon.
Her hands create something special straight from the heart. And as the colors come alive, the joy spreads near and far. Nancy and her gifted crafters bringing joy